got like no mobility over here. I already started packing because I'm going to Florida in about a week, and it's just like I can't walk over here. There's just so I'm gonna be like leaning into this review because this is the only place I can effectively angle the camera. So hello there, how's it going? Professor of Thrones here to talk about the season 8 premiere. It was okay. There was a lot of dumb stuff. It was just a lot of stupidity that I wasn't expecting, especially when they only have now 5 episodes to go for the entire rest of the story. It might have just been my expectations. It might have just been like the anything can happen factor, like what's going to happen, and they just took the safest route on every single point in this episode. And they also kind of glanced over a lot of points, like Sansa and Tyrion's reunion. They're technically still legally married. Like, there's a whole issue there, there's a whole relationship there that I guess they're going to explore as the season progressed, but they didn't even go into the depth of what it could have been. They had like a little bit of dialogue, but it was nothing like it needed to be. Anyone else at the end of the episode, when you first saw the person in the black cloak, I was like, Quaither Howland, and of course it was Jaime, like the safest route. Especially earlier in the episode when Bran was like, I'm waiting for an old friend, I'm like, Howland Reed, this is it, they're going to do it. If you don't remember, Howland Reed is Mira and Jojen's father. He was friends with Ned back during the time of Robert's Rebellion, so they had a very close relationship, and it seems like he knows a lot about the higher mysteries in the series. You'll know this especially if you've read the books, there's a lot of hints of that. And he hasn't been introduced properly in the books yet either, but they go into a lot more depth about his character and who he is in the books and his importance to the story. Like, he's obviously coming in the books. Every episode that passes is another episode where I think they're not going to bring back Quaithe for the rest of the show. Why did they put her in season 2 if they're not going to use her? She's so important in the books, and they just kind of like put her in one episode in season 2 and just forgot about her. You probably don't even know who she is. That's how lackluster they've treated her. It's just been so poorly done. No. I'm sorry, the episode was good. I'm still going to talk about bad shit though, obviously. Like, Theon, that wasn't rushed at all. I think what they're gonna do now is they're gonna be like, oh, they're safe, they're gonna go back to the Iron Islands, Theon's gonna go up north, there's gonna be a whole nice Iron Island camaraderie kind of thing going on. I think they're gonna try to subvert that by having Euron come chase them down and destroy them pretty much. That's what I'm expecting, or else Euron is a pointless character at this point. Like, Euron in the books is such a different character. If you remember back to season 2, the Warlocks of Qarth, he has a lot of association with them. He's a very intelligent, psychopathic person, and in the show he's kind of just this dumb, cocky, arrogant bastard, if that makes sense. The show is treating him very differently than George obviously created the character for, and it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, Euron serves his purpose in the show. They're not going to bring in the fantastical side of what Euron's trying to do into the show, so it makes sense, they'll throw him in. They didn't need to introduce him. I don't know. Anyway, why did Daenerys let Jon ride the dragon if she didn't know he was a Targaryen? He likes you is different than get on his back and fly. It is extremely rare for a dragon to allow a non-Targaryen rider of non-Valyrian descent, to get on its back. The only one we have in recorded history, thanks to Fire and Blood, the new prequel book, is Nettles. But Nettles was a different case. My theory is that she had some secret offshoot of Great Empire of Dawn, maybe Ashai ancestry there. Why am I going off the end on this deep book shit? And everyone here is just having watched the show and probably not read the books. Bran, I don't know if they intended to use him as comedic relief in this episode, but every shot with him in there, every line he had, I was like cracking up. I'm like, all right, this is so, oh god. It's like they took the concept of the three-eyed raven and just like, hey, we're gonna use him as the butt of the jokes. I don't know if that was their intention, but it was very funny. It may sound like I'm laughing at how bad it was, but no, I thought that was very good. It's almost like they're using the exact opposite of comedy as the comedic relief. Like, they take this person that is so serious and so torn apart from human convention, such as comedy, and they use that notion as comedic relief in the episode. I thought that was actually, believe it or not, well done. Jon and Bran reunion, that actually had me a little teary. That was very nice. Arya and Jon could have been a little bit more. It just missed that thing. Like I was ready to cry for Arya and Jon, because if you remember, they had a lot more special relationship than the other siblings. It was a nice scene, but it wasn't anything special. I thought the Hound was just gonna break and hug Arya. I was waiting for that, but now he kept going. Hound's gonna die. just happen already. Gendry and Arya is a situation where I'm like, this is too set up. Like, Arya has to die now, right? I don't think she's going to die, but at this point, if they're treating the Arya Gendry setup like this, it's like Arya can't live and get with Gendry. It's just not on the table here. Incredible scene. I couldn't tell if it was Castle Black or another castle along the wall. Maybe when I'm rewatching the episode for my full breakdown later this week, I'll be able to discern that. But that scene was very well done, and it just shows you that they've been planning this from the beginning. George R. R. Martin is an absolute genius. But can I even say that, though? Because George R. R. Martin hasn't used the spiral symbol in the books. It's a show creation. But it seems like a George idea, because it was used in episode 1 of season 1, or a similar symbol. It might have been a similar symbol. Maybe I think it was just that they didn't have the exact symbol they wanted to use down yet. I don't think it was a denotion of difference, per se. It is still my theory that this symbol depicts the Isle of Faces, hence Helen Reed getting back into the story, and that this is like maybe the Weirwood tree pattern at the Isle of Faces. Despite that mountain, I'm still holding out that there may be a chance that that was just coincidence, and the Isle of Faces was where the first man was turned into the Night's King. They're not going to do the Isle of Faces. What am I saying? Speaking of locations, the intro, I like how, because we have such limited locations at this point, that we're so far into the endgame, that they actually like went deep into the few locations that they had and showed specific sub-locations, like the crypts of Winterfell, cough cough, hint of what's to come. Reanimated Starks during the Battle of Winterfell. But where's Volantis? Like, is Melisandre just gonna show up in the middle of the battle and be like, hey, I have met Army of the Faith of the Lore here, let's do this? Like, are they not gonna show her getting the army? I was a little upset that they didn't show Euron getting the Golden Company, that it was just kind of, here I am with the Golden Company. Harry Strickland comes out for 2 seconds. No mention of Blackfyre heritage. No mention of past Blackfyre rebellions as to whether they'll betray the Westerosi monarch again. No, you'll fight for us. You'll do it, right? I sound like I'm shitting on this episode, but I did like it. It was clear setup for things to come, and it's fine for what it was, but when you have 6 episodes left of the show, now 5, for this to be one of the last 6 episodes of the entire show, it was just kind of like, really? You wasted an hour of screen time? I mean, come on. I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about off the top of my head. Again, this is just me having watched the episode literal minutes ago, and you'll get my full impressions and full analysis and breakdown the middle of this week, Wednesday. So look forward to that. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you'll stick around for Wednesday and Saturday, and remember, Professor of Thrones is here to teach you.